Okay, so, well, I'm gonna just list everybody who's here right now once so that you can just know who is here and who's not. Very, very obvious. I don't even know why I'm narrating the fact that this needs to be done. Water, T Poison, Vita, Baltimore, Macardo McClown. Let's move on to tier 1 NPCs. Niram, Yeffy Tenebris, Ella Simone. Let's move on to tier 2 characters. Artisan W Plains, Vincent. I think his last name's a secret.
Wait,
Vincent's not here. Just kidding. He's in the hospital. Just kidding. It was all a joke, guys. Ha ha ha. Funny. Tree Warrior Households. His voice. That name is so dumb. Tier 2 NPCs. Gishbu Scan Victor, Liasu Wozu, CC Lure, Nielsen Pearl, Aikol Dayaze Fiasuna, Scoot, I can't pronounce his last name, Scoot Nami Wagner, yes, there we go, something like that anyway, and Kias Fletcher. That's everybody who's going. So, King Ratrapina appears, and he uses the Spear of Hernando and warps everybody here to Ratrapina. You guys start on the street in front of a graveyard and also right next to a very large, fancy cathedral-esque funeral home. He leads you guys inside and he goes, I pray that none of you brought your weapons today. You know that you can't be carrying weapons in Ratrapina legally, right? I'll take the silence as a yes. Here Ratrapina turns around and opens up the guild house. Or sorry, not the guild house. The funeral house. I'm just so accustomed to saying guild house. It just came out that way. And when you guys enter, let me give a short description of what this looks like. There's a lot of seats. They're cushioned! How nice! There's a carpet leading up to a podium. Oh god, I'm sorry. For anybody watching this recorded, I'm sick today. My voice sounds really bad. There's a big stage-esque area with 2 coffins on it and a black curtain behind them with 2 paintings hanging of Grimoire and Lan. That's really it. It's just a bunch of seats, a stage with a podium, coffins, and the pictures. It's a very basic room. However, this cathedral-esque building is very large. The roof goes very high, and it's very nice and pleasing in here, as a funeral home should be, to respect the dead, of course. So, when everybody enters, you notice that some people are already here. You guys are entering just before the funeral starts, but you see a few miscellaneous versions of Grimoire's students in the past that chose to attend, and you see, presumptuously, maybe her family, you can't really tell, but there's a reserved section for the Ratrapina Guild, so you guys choose to sit into those areas. Coffee, feel free to stop the recording for now. You guys notice that after all the Ratrapians sit down, the funeral is going to be starting in just 2 minutes. However, a few last remaining stragglers enter as you guys are just idly chit-chatting. The last remaining stragglers being presumptuously some of Lan's family members, though their connection to her is kind of hard to tell, but they are all Tanduitan, and by your very generic logic, you're just like, they're Tanduitan, they're probably Lan's friends. So, they all sit down in a area on the opposite side of the Ratrapina Guild House area. Behind you guys is some more open podiums, just for miscellaneous last-minute stragglers. There's only a couple seconds left until the funeral starts, and for whatever reason, Lily shows up and sits in the back. After this, King Ratrapina walks up to the stage, takes the podium, and decides to start giving a speech. If you've been to blank Christopher and Gamis's funeral, you've probably heard this speech before, but nonetheless, this is the speech that King Ratrapina gives at the beginning of every Ratrapina Guild member's death funeral. Here it is. After he takes the funeral, he goes, the funeral for Grimoire and Lan is now commencing. Hello, fellow guild members, friends of the fallen ones. family of these brave souls, we are here not to mourn, but to commemorate the achievements and accomplishments, the shared and unshared experiences, their deeds, good and bad, their time in this place we call the Realm the Verse. I was their guild leader, King Ratrapina, but you are the ones that hold deeper connections to these deceased warriors. So, I invite anybody and everybody here to stand at this stand and speak on their behalf now. Thank you. He starts walking off the stage. While he's walking, he just kind of raises his voice since he's away from the microphone now and goes, anybody could just walk up and take the microphone.
Vita walks up first.
Alright, Vita goes up to the microphone. While she's walking, Coffee, of course, go ahead and switch to whoever's images that you need. Oh, also, just for nobody who got to see yet, I should probably just show the stupid Photoshop I made for the backdrop of this funeral. Here it is in Shadow Realm. Oh, that's nice, Kelly. You should show that art actually as well. Maybe after Vita's speech is done, or maybe whilst it's happening.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. Go on.
For Grimoire, a small tribute to you. I put my hand on my heart. Let me say, I'm glad to have known you. You were considerably older than me, but you had a spunk in you that, as a warrior, I admired a bit. You were strong to the very end, so please rest, as we youngsters will continue with what you left behind. So in the name of Grimoire, I bear the consequences of your actions and make a path for newcomers to not only survive, but thrive. For Lon. Sorry if I sound sappy. But to you, Lon, as a friend, thank you. Thank you for talking to me. The first time we spoke was in prison, and you were my prison mate. Although you could have left me alone, but you didn't. Nor did you push your way into my life. I am thankful to you. It will probably sound a little silly, but I'm thanking you for even mouthing a few words to me. But those few words were what I needed to hear then. I would have never thought I'll ever be able to escape such a place, nor even fathom the thought that I will come out with a precious new friend. But I should backtrack, so I could tell you the tales of Lon and Vita. The first day I was thrown into the cell, it came off terribly awkward, as I was still in shock with everything that occurred. I only answered in one word to you, and I don't really mean to be like that. Although with some time, I was able to warm up to you, even if it's just a little. It was something new to me. I opened up to you, and you did the same. Lon, you amazed me. When you told me why you were there, it was because you took down multiple attackers at once for your lover. That was when I knew we had something special. Those few words still resonate with me, as it was telling me to stay resilient, as you were when things turned for the worse. When we had you join the guild, I knew you would fit in, for you were strong, you were caring, and you were funny. And most importantly, you were my friend. So I would never guess that you would be taken from us so soon. That moment, I felt I was at fault. I blamed myself for not being strong enough to save you. The resentment would have grew and taken over me, but thanks to you, I didn't let it. In your last moments, you remained positive till your last breath. So I live on for you, our friendship, and our freedom. As you continue to live in our memories, I'll live for the both of us. So thank you, Lon, for all you've given me and the time we got. I'll miss you dearly, my friend.
You see a lot of people on Lon's side of the seats start standing up and clapping, presumptuously her family members, and of course a few other guild members start clapping as well.
Mikado claps.
Arson claps.
After Vita's done, she go ahead and starts stepping down from the podium. Also, for anybody that didn't see, I just uploaded the memorial art for Grimoire in clear full HD. But anywho, you guys see after Vita walks off. Oh, I'm sick and I have to do a new character. This Sevelidiest guy, I think. I'm sorry, I don't actually know what gender they are, but I'm pretty sure they're a guy, maybe. Starts walking up to the podium. For anybody that doesn't know, Grimoire is... Anybody that's listening and just doesn't recognize, Grimoire is not an NPC. They are a player by Bluefo that died, I think, 6 months ago in real time, but not that long ago in game time, like probably around 2 months ago in game time. But let me show you what they look like. Because Blue went through the courtesy of drawing all of the people that would be giving speeches, which is nice. Visuals are nice. Here it is. Coffee, just bring it up as soon as you're able to, no rush. I'm pretty sure it's a guy. The name is Rico. When they walk out, or will walk up to the stand, this person takes the podium, adjusts their outfit as if they're either energetic or nervous, a little hard to tell exactly how they're feeling, and they begin speaking. They go, hi, my name's Rico. I'm speaking on the behalf of Grimoire. I give my condolences to the other one who's passed as well, though I don't actually know them. Here's my speech. We have lost so much today, and the loss of someone dear to us is never easy. Grimoire will always and forever be in our hearts. Now, to her, new and old friends, please let us join and give a moment of silence. A few of the guild members and almost all of Grimoire's side bows their heads at this moment.
So does Mikado.
Arson follows.
So does Vita.
Where King Ratrapina is standing off on the side of the stage, he does as well. After about 30 seconds passes, he looks up and goes, Dear gods of the Realmniverse, let her soul rest in peace. He, does a small nod, and he takes the paper he wrote on and starts walking off the stage.
Arson claps.
A lot of Grimoire side starts clapping. Whenever Grimoire side is up, so there's a lot of students that seem to have known her, which makes the clapping very loud. Next up, you guys see Gishbu starts walking up to the stand. Who could Gishbu me? I've never heard of this guy. Yeah. Anyways. Once he walks up, Gishbu in his collared shirt and fancy dress pants goes up. He tightens his collar for a moment, and he goes, Hello, everybody. I'm here to speak on behalf of both Grimoire and Lan, for, if you don't know, even though I technically am not the person who bought the guild house and hosts the entire guild house, I am technically the leader of the guild house, and I do control all the guild members here and make the ultimate decisions. This being said, I did not know Grimoire or Lan very well. Most of us here didn't either, actually. I didn't need to know them that well to know that they fought hard and died under the name of Ratrapina. Both of them died because they both took a role for the team that nobody else would be willing to take. They had to sacrifice themselves because the challenge presented was too much for their group to handle without sacrifice. And that sacrifice will be honored, if not by the rest of you, then by me alone. Popularity does not represent greatness. It never has. Leoton, Blood Gargle, James Happens. These names are popular, not great. Grimoire, Lan. These names are great. They have helped us reach the point we are at today. And no tabletop can be held up without the support of that tabletop. And every support counts and was necessary to get there in the first place. They will forever live on in our hearts. Never let them be forgotten. I love you too. I know you can hear me. and I pray that you two are in a better place now. Rest in peace, my friends. Gishmu does a very energetic bow and starts walking off stage. A lot of the guild members start clapping pretty frantically.
Mikado claps.
Arson claps.
Water claps.
Vito whispers, "Go Gishmu."
I'm ready to go up.
And Water starts walking up to the podium.
Hello, everybody.
Well, Water, if you speak, we can't hear you.
Yeah. I'm trying to find my note.
As Water walks up, she fumbles around in her backpack, tries to reach out her note.
I got them. Okay. I know I haven't known Lon for that long, but here's what I want to say about Lon. I haven't known you enough, but I know how sweet you were. From when we've met, you among most of the others I met, I knew you were trying your best to protect us. You will not be forgotten, Lon. I sniff in tears.
A lot of Lon's family starts clapping, along with quite a few other guild members, especially the tier 1s.
And as for Grimoire, I've known you for a little while. You as a guild member, you as a friend, I thought you were an amazing ally and an awesome teacher, Grimoire. I do miss you dearly. I wanted to say, ever since I met you that day, we fought those daddy longlegs and those other monsters. I saw a lot of hope in you as a teacher and as a guild member. You are someone I cannot forget. I hope you rest in peace, Grimoire.
A lot of Grimoire's side of the podium starts clapping again.
A tear. Sadness. And I wipe my tears. Alrighty. I go back to my seat.
As Water walks off, Eichel, who is sitting next to Water, goes, "Short and sweet, Water, you did good."
Oh, thank you,
Arson claps.
Eichel.
Looks like after this, Niram starts walking up to the podium. Niram takes the stand, and he goes, "Hi, I give condolences to Grimoire, though I did not know her. I'm here to speak on behalf of Lon. This is what I have to say. Lon was a good soul, an intriguing personality, and a great comrade. Her death was unfortunately unavoidable. If anybody else was in her place, it would have been them. I give my eternal respect to Lon for taking a crucial blow for the team, for the sake of the rest of us. We love you, Lon. Rest well, old friend." He gives a slight bow and starts walking off stage. A lot of the tier 1 start clapping. Yeffy goes, "That's right! That's right!"
Mikado claps.
Arson claps.
Water clap.
Vito let down a tear.
Tree whispers to Scoot. Alright, Scoot. I'm going. Wish
You
me
got
luck.
this, bro. You got this, bro.
Tree goes onto stage.
When you get to stage, Tree or Scoot gives you a thumbs up in the audience.
Tree freaking salutes to Scoot.
Scoot salutes and Kias does as well.
Tree also salutes to Kia. Hello, my name is Tree Warrior Household, and I am speaking on behalf of Grimoire. When I was in Tier 1, we had a demon teammate named Grimoire. She was your unconventional adventurer. She didn't start out as an adventurer at a young age. She started adventuring at a much older age. An age where she could have been comfortable in a life of tutoring. But she desired to pursue the thrill of adventure. That is what captivated her the most. Grimoire is really nice to her guild members, smart enough to hold on her own. Most importantly, She was the powerhouse for the group I was in when I was still in Tier 1. One time, she took down this huge flying snow creature on top of a mountain in this whole one swing around, 1v1 style. It takes a lot of guts. She also even took a 4-handed shadow creature when on her first quest, just when she started out in the guild. And she did that because we were short on people. It's one thing to be a demon, it's another thing to commit to your actions, even if it will be a difficult trial. I'll admit, she had a hard time with most battles, but she persisted. She didn't brag about being powerless. She didn't even complain about her financial situation. She was humble enough to own up to her actions, was even kind enough to spend her precious time to make something for me. She took her time to give me this. Tree takes out the IQ tests and he shows it to everyone.
Oh god.
A lot of the students look very confused.
An IQ test, something I had never done before, and something that wasn't necessary for her demanding job. But she still took the time to do it for me because she cared, and it meant a lot to me. That's what makes Grimoire a great person. She fought, she cared, and she gave back not to the Ratrapina guild, but for everyone she taught, tutoring for countless years of her life. After all the time I spent with her, after all the experiences I had with her, I can say this confidently, and it's that Grimoire was the best teacher I never had, but I dream of having. Thank you!
Ricardo,
Hands up!
Ricardo stands up and claps.
Kios also stands up. You say it is right, Tree. You said it's correct and very correct. A lot of Grimoire's side starts clapping, some slower than others.
Oh my god. You just claps.
You guys see an older looking gentleman start taking the stand. You've never seen him before. I have a picture of him though. I don't know what the fuck's playing. I didn't put this on. I'm sorry. Let me change this.
Whoa, he's good looking.
That's the guy. He goes up. He's a board. He appears kind of tall. He looks like a board anyways, right? After he goes up, he looks down the rest of the audience, and he goes, "Hi, I'm Lucy. I was Grimoire's ex-husband. I've come to speak on her behalf. I have a few words to say. My lovely Grimmy, words cannot describe how disappointed I am of this situation. So whatever you did before you died, I hope that it was worth the trouble you have caused me." He looks down and shakes his head, and he starts walking off the stage.
Arsenal claps.
A bit of Grimoire's side starts clapping as well. After he walks off, it looks like a challenger is approaching. I'm sorry, that was a dumb way to word it. Yeffy walks over to the stand. As she's walking up, he slowly walks, wide Putin style, up to the stand. Yeffy unfortunately doesn't have much fancy clothing, so he's just wearing armor. Once he gets up there, Yeffy pulls out a piece of paper. Looks like he probably ripped it out of a notebook. He goes, "I don't know who Grimoire is, but I pay my respects." He bows. "I'm here to give a speech for Lan. I met her in prison, not the coziest of places. But Lan and I aren't the coziest of people. Seems fitting. I felt an inexplainable connection to Lan. We were both the more intense members of our group. She always had the serious tone to her that I felt comfort in.
but she always liked playing around with us, even though she didn't know all of us well. I aspire to be as confident as her someday. I found myself chuckling here and there when she would speak, and if not a chuckle, then I would nod in agreeance.
He nods his head slowly.
I wish I got to know more of her. She was a badass, and I liked her. Rest in peace, my friend. You will be missed.
Near him stands up and starts clapping.
We also get up and clap.
Arson follows.
It looks like
Uh-huh.
the family approves of this and starts clapping quite fast. Yeffy walks off of the stage. Can I just say that in my sick voice, that was a lot more raspy than our normal Yeffy, right?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Mm-hmm.
I guess after that, Scoot looks around and notices that not anybody else is going up, so Scoot stands up and walks up to the stand. He looks very nervous while he's walking up. Mid-walk, he turns around and looks at Tree, and Kios gives a frown and he nods. He's like,
Tree salutes. Tree salutes.
Kios gives a firm salute.
You got this, brother.
Scoot takes the stands and he goes, "Alright, bros and not bros alike, you may not have known Grimoire, but she passed more than a couple of months ago. But she was one cool lady. She did not belong on the battlefield, but she was on the battlefield with me all the time. She was trying to keep the mood of the quest lighthearted, even when we were all being dumbasses. She was not afraid to step in the front lines, despite her lack of capability, because she knew if she didn't hold her position, there would be nobody to hold the position for her. She did not belong on the battlefield, but she tried her hardest to belong on the battlefield, and that's what matters. She was like the annoying mom figure that I never had but I wanted. We argued and bickered and didn't see eye to eye, but we fought alongside each other, back to back like a family should. I appreciate that! That is all!" He salutes 3 times. Kia stands up and goes,
You said it, brother! You said it!
Tree stands up. Amen! Scoot! Amen!
Gishbu claps his hands.
That's right!
It looks like a lot of Grimoire's side starts clapping as well. Some of the older audience looks a little disturbed for some reason.
Arson claps.
After that happens, you guys see 2 people walking up to the stand at the same time. I have a picture, I have a picture, I have a picture of these people, I have a picture, I have a picture of these people. 2 Seveliuses walk over. It looks like, well, they're not very tall, but they both walk up. The one on the left is a boy, the one on the right is a girl, and they look very young. You can probably tell by looking at the picture. The one on the right, the guy, goes, "We offer our condolences to our teacher, Grimoire." The woman goes, "Grim was a really nice person, and on top of that, a really nice teacher." The other kid goes, "And we express our sincere sympathy to her family and friends." Hilda goes, "Mm-hmm." After that, they both look around at the audience for a moment and then bow. Looks like a lot of Grimoire's classmates start clapping a lot as if they know them. They walk off the stage.
Arson claps.
Looks like there's not too many more people to go. Nonetheless, Kias stands up and he goes, "I don't know how to write a speech, so wish me luck." He walks up to the stand so confidently, it's almost hysterical. He looks like he's marching, raising knee to knee, swinging arm back and forth. And when he arrives, he goes, "I don't know how to write, so I didn't write a speech, but I'm going to speak from the heart here, from deep within myself. This is what I have to say. I'm sorry
for your passing, Lon. I did not actually know you, though, but I know you fought hard just like Grimoire did. And to Grimoire, this is what I have to say. I'm going to provide you with a story, so you know just how brave she was in her final moments. There was a high tier 1 quest. This is what you'll understand about it. Usually, for those who aren't in our guild house, we usually have about 8 guild members at the same time. Sometimes 7, sometimes 6, but definitely not 3. And we had 3 that night. Me, he points in the audience, Tree, and he points up, Grimoire. Me and Tree, we are supports. We sit in the back and support with our range. I use throwing stuff and Tree's an archer. Grimoire used a large spear and sometimes some other forms of weaponry. She went onto the front lines. We had to take on a miniature third-party guild house in some place. It was difficult, but we completed the mission only because of Grimoire. We planned the whole way there. When we entered, at least we had one more guy to help us out, but it wasn't enough. She took several arrows back and forth, and then the captain himself came out. Me and Tree had to keep recovering. I got hit so hard I started bleeding out and I passed out. Tree continued supporting, but he had to keep restocking on his arrows. Grimoire remained in the front lines the entire time, continued to take blows and taking out some one by one. She might not be fast, but she was powerful. When the captain came out, unfortunately, he stabbed Grimoire and she couldn't take any more. She passed out onto the ground, but she was never forgotten. In her last moments, Grimoire, being her cheeky self, told us she wanted us to go to the grocery store for her and buy some candy, which I plan on doing still. Kias tears up in one eye. I'm going to go to the grocery store and buy some candy, and I'm going to keep it in my room because of Grimoire. That's what I'm going to do, and I hope that story is very insightful to how heroic Grimoire was. Thank you! He bows extremely, almost aggressively, and he walks very fast off the stage.
You get him, Tree! No, Tree! Chaos!
That's right!
I thought
He's a brave warrior! A lot of Grimoire side starts clapping as well.
Mikado clap.
Arson claps.
It looks like, despite me not having a picture for this person because my drawing tablet is broken right now, a person walks up to the stage. It looks like Lon's father, since it is a Tanduian with blonde hair and red eyes as well. He looks a lot older though, and he's quite fucking tall. Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't post Lon's art, I just now realized. Let's go ahead and do that, actually. Maybe you can display that instead of him, Coffee, since I don't have his art. Let's see here. Where's my Lon art? Oh, Lon. Memorial Art of the Fallen. Lon. I don't remember what her last name was, which I'm very sad to say. Is it? Oh, her last name was Azure, that's right. Lon Azure. There we go. After the man walks up, he goes,
Hello, I'm here to speak on behalf of my daughter. My dear Lon Azure was a very, very humble and confident person. She moved out of the house at a very young age, confident she'd be able to do fine on her own. She moved in with her boyfriend. Those two were in love from such a young age. I semi-regret not giving her my approval of this relationship, despite them actually living together for about 5 years, until one fateful night when Lon was at a bar with her boyfriend having a good time like normal. But for some reason her boyfriend got into a bar fight. Afterwards, she had to fight the 2 men who killed her boyfriend herself. This got her thrown in prison. I visited her a few times, as much as I could, even though it was not in the realm that I grew up in, and I do not have a realm stone. I had to transport myself there, using my own money every time. When I arrived, Lon still remained her cheeky self, always telling stupid jokes that made no sense, and doing very dumb, silly things that you shouldn't do in a prison meeting. Nonetheless, we carried on, and I kept her close to me in my heart. I don't know how many people here know Lon compared to the other one in this coffin, which I do give my condolences to. She seemed like a good person. But Lon was an absolutely wonderful figure, and even if you didn't know her for long, I'm sure you know that Lon is one of the best people to live on this planet. Thank you for listening to my spiel about my daughter, and may she live on in the Ratrapina name.
He bows down and walks off stage. Gishbu stands up and goes,
Your daughter was a wonderful person, sir!
Mikado claps.
Via does the same as Gishbu.
Water claps as well.
Lonside claps very hysterically. It looks like after that, King Ratrapina starts walking back on stage and he goes, Is there anybody else who wants to give any last-minute speeches? If not, we're going to conclude this and move on to the preceding part of the funeral. He looks around. I suppose not. Thank you all for attending. Those who gave a speech, thank you more. I know sometimes it's hard to speak on behalf of somebody that's no longer with us, but everybody here who is listening, which by the looks of it is quite a lot of people, we all appreciate it. Now, with the 2 coffins behind us, since they are still not buried, we are going to have an open casket. You guys are going to be able to walk up on both sides of this stage here and say any last words you need to before they are going to be buried under the land and name of Ratrapina. However, feel free to visit their coffins and their tombstones anytime you need. It will be buried right next to this building, for this graveyard is specifically meant for fallen Ratrapian warriors. King Ratrapina bows and walks off the stage. Looks like Gishbu stands up, and Gishbu grabs Artisan's shoulder and goes,
Artisan, open up Lon's casket, and I will open Grimoire's.
Let's go.
Gishbu walks up on the left side, and therefore Artisan walks up on the right side, and you guys both open up the funeral. I'm sorry, the casket's not the funeral. Gishbu stands next to the casket, but out of respect and privacy, he moves away from it. But before doing so, it looks like he whispers something under his breath to Grimoire, and he bows before walking off. Looks like a lot of Lon's family gets up immediately and starts walking over to Lon's casket, as if they're anxious to get first in line.
Artisan makes way.
Looks like Scoot stands up and goes, Tree, Kias, I think I have some unfinished business with Grimoire. I'm just gonna say a few simple words.
Me too. Tree grabs his IQ test. Me too.
Tree starts walking over there. And therefore Scoot does as well. And so does Kias. By now, it looks like Lonk and Hilda, which were the 2 younger Seveliuses, were the first in line. They already have said something, and they've moved on. But afterwards, the next up in line would be Tree.
War. I'm sorry I didn't finish the IQ test. But Tree clenches the IQ test. I'm thankful for you giving this opportunity to test my strength, my wits, and being there for me.
Scoot pats your back. It's okay, buddy. It's okay.
Goodbye, Grimoire. Tree, let's go the IQ test.
Scoot then kneels next to Tree. He looks at Grimoire and he goes, Grimoire! Sorry, not sorry about all the times I argued with you. You were cool. You know, I didn't actually really have a mother growing up, but I'm just gonna pretend you were my mother. Even though you're like a demon, it's kind of fucking weird and whatever, but just pretend, alright? Just pretend it's the real thing. I know you probably wouldn't want me as a son, but you know, it's okay. Anyways, I'm really bad at this kind of shit, so just... He bows his head. Just
Thank you for everything. I enjoyed our time together. I know I'm not good at showing it, but I did, alright? Alright? I did it!
Scoot stands up and starts walking off.
Tree stands up and bows.
Kias goes. He walks over and he starts bowing rapidly up and down while standing. And he goes, "I'm sorry, Grimoire! I should have tried harder on that last place. I could have put all my vote down to the captain or something like that, but it's too late now, I suppose. But I'm just looking back in retrospect and I feel a little bit bad about it. But you know what? I'm going to get candy. As a matter of fact, I'm going to buy candy, and the next time there's a funeral, I will go over to your casket and I will place the candy on your tombstone because I know that you like candy. And anyways, thank you for everything, Grimoire, and I appreciated you, and thank you for practically saving my life. Not practically, but very definitely saving my life, okay? Thank you. Goodbye. For one last time." Kias walks off and catches up to Scoot and Tree. It looks like on Lan's side, her family finishes up saying what they needed to. Her father stayed while all the other family members stepped up. Looks like the father is very torn over this compared to the rest. After the family, looks like Artisan, I think, was next up, right?
Arson is just gonna stay in the back.
Oh, I thought you said you got in line, my bad. Looks like for no particular reason, the Asu gets in line for Lan. When she arrives at Lan's casket, she goes, "Lan, I don't have much to say, but I think that's your style anyway. You were pretty fucking cool, dude. I like that conversation we had. I'm not that religious or anything, but let's just pretend Ghost exists, right? Just in case Ghost exists, and you can hear me right now. Just want you to know you're one cool-ass bitch. I'll be seeing you in the afterlife, baby." She points a finger gun. "Goodbye now." She walks off. Looks like after she reconciles, she goes, "Does anybody else want to have some final moments before we go back to the guild house?"
Oh, I do.
"Feel free to get in line. If you feel nervous, maybe somebody can join you."
Oh, does anybody want to join me?
Liam walks over. "Yeah, I'm gonna go."
Mm-hmm.
Ella goes, "I'm not good at the whole speech thing, but I have something I just want to say personally to Lan, so I'll go up."
Alright, let's head up.
While you guys are waiting in line, you guys can see, wow, that was, I did not mean to say waiting in line. Waiting in line, looks like the rest of Grimoire's peoples, which is quite a lot, are in line. Lan's is considerably less than Grimoire's, but it's mostly guild members here. Yuffie, at the last second, decides to get in line.
Arson will get in line in Grimoire's line.
The Artisan waits behind a lot of the students and family of Grimoire. After quite a few of the people on both sides finish up, well, much less before Grimoire's side finishes up, Lan's side mostly does, and then Vita would be first up in line here.
Vita doesn't say any words. She just looks at Lan for a last moment and leaves.
Niram also looks up at Lan. What Vita and Niram noticed, for anybody wondering, is that clearly they wouldn't leave her split open in the casket. They actually, very Ratrapian style. Looks like King Ratrapina is a man of respecting the dead. He actually dressed her in a very fancy-looking garb that kind of covers the major wound she got from the huge spear attack that killed her, so it's not really noticeable. But, of course, her eyes are no longer glowing. She just has black eyes at this point. When Niram arrives there, he goes, "Lan, may not have known you for long, but you were cool. Sorry, I don't really know what else to say, but I would have liked to talk to you more if I had the chance." He walks off. Ella, who appears to be a very emotional person and has kind of been tearing up, moves up, wiping some tears away. She says things quietly under her breath so that nobody else can hear. But after about an entire minute passes, she finally walks off slowly, followed by Yeffy, who just says, as a complete contrast to Ella, very loudly,
Lon, I liked you. We would have gotten along fine. We could have been friends. I don't know about best friends, but maybe best friends. We had some kind of strange connection going on. I would have talked to you more and everything like that, but I suppose it had to be this way. I would have taken your place if I could. I'm sorry it had to happen, Lon. Have a good one up there. I don't know if there is an up there, but if there is, we'll see each other again someday.
Yeffy walks off. Artisan finally, after waiting behind so many of Grimoire's students, manages to make it up.
Hey Grimoire, it's been a while, but I'm glad you stuck with us till the end. I'm sure if this tree, Kiosk, or anyone else, they would have taken the blow. But I'm thankful that you decided to step up and take one for the team. I'm thankful that you also gave Tree a chance at something. May have not mattered much, but I'm sure it mattered to him. I think that's what counts in the end. And all of this. So thank you. Arson walks off.
While you're walking off, you didn't even notice that not far behind you was Cece, who walks up now. Cece goes by Grimoire and goes, Grimoire, you know, we really didn't get along, but you were still cool. I like talking to you. And you already know that I am very, very bad with words. But I was just saying, I liked you despite our bickering. That's it, Grimoire. Rest in peace up there, or wherever it is. She stands up and walks off.
Arson goes to Lon because God, that was long.
Looks like Lon's line is empty by now, so you just walk up.
Sweet. Hey Lon. Now we didn't get to know each other as much, but that talk we had, I'm thankful, and at the same time, I'm quite sad. After what as many people said about you, I knew I would have gotten along with you, with everyone else, but I don't know. I knew you a bit longer. I think I have some life-breaking thoughts, things you went through. It's kind of thought-provoking, you could say. The things you experienced, I don't think I'd be the same person if I had to go through the things that you went through. Justice and injustice, which one's real. And I think your case proves that everything is, well, not black and white as they seem to be. So I want to thank you on that, and I hope in another life you treat it well. Arson walks off.
After you walk off, you turn around and notice that, except for the guild members, it looks like just about everybody is gone, or at least outside of the cathedral-esque building now.
Arson looks for Lily.
You look in the back, notice that Lily is still here. Looks like she's patiently waiting for everybody to leave. But after noticing that everybody except for guild members is gone when she turns her head herself, after realizing that Artisan made direct eye contact with her, she stands up and starts walking towards the stage.
Arson walks off the stage.
Scoot gives her a very snarly face.
Ricardo also just stares at her.
Lily walks up to Grimoire's side. She goes, Grimoire, I kinda knew you. I still remember you. She turns around. I remember everyone. But, she turns her face back around slowly, I liked you more than some of the others, at least. I never met a cool old person before. I believe in the afterlife. I've seen proof of it. I know it exists. I want to take as many people there as I can. If it was my choice, I would have taken you there. But it was probably just some annoying guy. I'll talk to you again, Grimoire. See ya! She walks away. She looks down at the floor as she's walking out of the building. Gishbu, taps Artisan on the shoulder and goes,
Who is that chick?
It's Lily. She's, from what I heard,
Oh.
works with Cousin Tavite.
That Lily. Oh.
Yeah.
I didn't actually recognize the face.
That's her.
Wonder why she was here. Do you think that was sincere? I mean, sounded sincere.
Yeah, I'm sure that was sincere. If she had something else in mind, well, I'm pretty sure the whole Ratrapin would know about it.
Icole goes, I didn't say anything because, well, I'm not, well, I mean, I just didn't know what to say, honestly. I didn't talk to either of them much, but what the hell? She walks up onto Grimoire's side and goes, Grimoire, you're pretty cool. Granted, I don't know you, but that's alright. She gives a thumbs up and walks off the stage. I feel better about that now.
Yeah, you did the best thing you could.
Gishbu goes,
Well, it's just us guildies here now. I suppose that's it, right?
Yeah, that's all we have to say then. That's all we have to say.
Suppose it's time for us to move on. I'd like to engrave their names into the guildhouse wall myself, but I won't do both if somebody else would rather do one of their names.
Would anyone like to take the honor?
I would.
I see. And for Lan, I'm assuming, yes?
Mm-hmm.
I'll write Grimoire's name in the wall. How about we all head back?
Sounds good.
You guys start walking back. King Ratrapina is sitting against the wall now, next to the door, and he opens up the Spear of Hernando and reveals a portal leading into the guild house. And he goes, "Let's all head back, guildies." Everybody walks through the Spear of Hernando portal and makes it back into the guild house. When everybody makes it back, King Ratrapina grabs a small ladder and he pushes it up against the wall right over the window where all of the guild members' names are etched who've passed. As of now, even though this is a new guild house, looks like King Ratrapina himself re-etched the names of Christopher Blank and Grimoire. Oh, I'm sorry, Christopher Blank and Gamis on here. But there's some more space next to their names for these two. Gishbu goes,
I'll go up and write on Grimoire.
he climbs up the ladder and he etches it in. Gishbu's handwriting really isn't the cleanest, but it looks like he tried pretty hard. Not to mention, you are scratching into wood, which makes it hard to make it look nice. After he takes his good old time with that, he steps down from the ladder and gestures, looking at Vita, and goes,
Go ahead and do the honors for Lan.
Got it. Thank you. Vita goes up and sketches Lon's name into the wood in the nice font she can, and put in a tiny heart at the end of her name.
Gishbu looks at Vita and nods and goes,
Nice.
I would like to do something with that. I would like to write down something.
it's only meant for their names. After that, Nephi just crosses his arms and nods his head slowly and goes,
Well, I suppose we have a lot to think about now.
Indeed, Yuffie.
King Ratrapina goes, I know it was inevitable, but let's make sure we try our best to prevent future deaths in this guild house. I wish you all luck with everything that's happened, and they were great people. I appreciate all of you who fight under my name. Have a good one, guys.
You too.
Yes, King Ratrapina.
Gishpu nods and gives a salute.
I give a thumbs up.
King Ratrapina uses the Spirit Commando and warps back to Ratrapina. It looks like for the recording, well, I'll just end it there.